The field lined up now for the Longboard Championship of Australia. This is the first of the major craft finals. And on the far side, in station number 1, the defending champion, Mick Porra from Panley. He's won this event 2 years in all. Then we have Mark McCleary, Maroubra, Craig Shelton from Surfers Paradise, Queensland, Chris Bourne from Surfers, Dwayne Tyers from Seacliff, South Australia, the Ironman champion, Alan Morgan of Christie's Beach, South Australia, David Orchard from Surfers Paradise, Queensland, Brett Huey from Freshwater, New South Wales, John Anderson, Stockton, New South Wales, the veteran Steve Warren from North Cronulla, who's won this event 4 times in all, Darren Schott of Maroubra, Neil Johnson of Cronulla, Lee Horwood of Manly, who won this event in 1982 here at Moana, competing for Queenscliff, and finally on the extreme left-hand side, Steve Linton from North Cronulla, with the defending champion Mick Porra down the right-hand end in position number 1.
Yes, it is a strong lineup of paddlers, particularly when you think you've got paddlers of the ilk of Steve Linton, who's been competing for many years, first for Swansea Caves, Swansea Belmont, and then down to North Cronulla, and he's made the final of this event. It's a great effort to him. Of course, Lee Horwood, being another old-timer, a past Australian champion, is there too. Well, David Orchard from Surfers Paradise is a very strong paddler, paddled well throughout the weekend and is a strong contender for this title. Of course, we can't take away from Dwayne Tyers, who is paddling very strongly too. At the moment, it's a great break off the beach, and the people on the southern side getting the best of the break, and that's Steve Linton and Neil Johnson from Cronulla getting a good run, and then Lee Horwood is also paddling strongly. Out there in the middle, we see coming through very nicely is Steve Warren from North Cronulla, and of course John Anderson from Stockton, a very tall paddler, is paddling very strongly also. The paddlers are now getting back into the centre of the area, each end coming towards the middle, and there we can see Mick Porra coming through very nicely. But it's still Lee Horwood in front at the moment on the left-hand side of the field, and we see the difficulty with the other paddlers behind him. Coming over this side, we see Mick Porra now coming through, and you see those 2 Manly competitors coming through right at the moment, and they'll be trying very hard to get the front, to get to the turning point first. And of course there you see the 2 paddlers leading at the moment. Mick Porra is now coming into the front of Lee Horwood, and of course they're sandwiched right out to Stephen Warren as those paddlers are getting to that first turning point. Now watch the action as they go around there. There's no fouls by hands. Porra on the inside, Lee Horwood on the second. And of course we saw Stephen, the paddler there in the singlet, and would have to go back to see who it was, getting a lot of difficulty. He dropped his legs to get his balance, and he's back. It looks like a freshwater competitor. Looked like Brett Huey of Freshwater got a little bit of a problem, and coming through there is the other competitors. But there's the paddlers now trying to get around the boy, and that's the problem you have if you're caught in the bunch. And you see the difference it's made to those leading competitors. Now at the moment we assume that Mick Porra has switched through to the inside, and he's got Lee Horwood on the outside, and that's the way they look as they return back to the beach. But there, back to the chopper shop, we see the perfect spread of the paddlers now. That's Horwood's dropped back into third. Have a look at this paddler coming up here on the right-hand side. Appears to be Orchard from Surfers Paradise. Now it looks like Dwayne Tyers in a black cap coming through. And of course, coming through on top of him is Mick Porra, and behind them we see the other paddlers. But here's the little chops we were talking about. Look at the run on that one as the paddler coming. It looks like Mick Porra has picked it up, and he's going to sit on it very, very comfortably. They're right in the glare now, but there's Mick Porra, and you can see what assistance that wave gave him as he comes through to the beach. And it's a great run now, and he's picked it up. He's going to hold it right through to the beach, and he's coming through. We can see Mick Porra coming through the beach, giving himself a nice little hand. In second place, looks like Dwayne Tyers is Seacliff into second place, and behind him we see it Surfers Paradise. Orchard is coming through a great race there between Maroubra and Surfers Paradise for third place. So it looks like Mick Porra Manly first, Dwayne Tyers of Seacliff second, and a battle for third place between David Orchard, Surfers Paradise, and Mark McCleary of Maroubra.
Well, Mick, you've now won 2 longboard championships in a row and 3 in all. You must feel as if you've got a mortgage on it.
Well, not exactly a mortgage, Mike. It was a very tough race. It's probably the best field that we've seen in longboards for a long time. And I had the good alley off the beach. I was very happy. I was lucky with the number 1 alley, I think, and which put me on the inside coming around the boys. And probably about, I'd say, 30 or 40 metres from the beach, a little bit of a wave popped up, and a guy either side looked like they were going to come over for a second, and they just couldn't get over it, and I got it, and so it was very tight right through to the finish.
So pretty much the race went to plan then?
Yeah, I'd say so. I knew that I had to lead to the cans with the way the wind's blowing out there. There's some really, it's quite choppy, and I knew if I was going to win, I had to get first around the can. So I gave it everything I had to the can, and then just tried to hang on from then on, just really on just on memory really the last 100 metres, I guess. I was just trying to hang in there.
Would you like the conditions like that?
Yeah, I do, because I'm fairly light, and some of the big guys are a lot stronger and more powerful, and when it's smooth, they tend to go better. They can get big, long strokes, and when it's choppy like this, I can get my rating up high and get on the chops, and I'm not pulling as much weight through, so it benefits me having it nice and choppy like this.
And now the official result. First placing to Mick Porra from Manly, New South Wales. Second placing, Dwayne Tyers from Seacliff, South Australia. And that very close third placing went to Darren Schott of Maroubra, New South Wales.